The Indian can do it. And once you prove it to them, we are unstoppable. Okay, all we have is that belief.
For 1.5 billion people.
So in my team in 21 boys right now, I've got 9 different languages. So, and they're boys who live, so Gothia, Sweden is 5,800 kilometers from Minerva.
Yeah, yeah.
There are boys who live 1,500 kilometers away from me in India.
Yeah.
Because they're so far off. So you have to see that again and again what I've been trying to prove to Indians, not the world, to Indians, that listen, I have no resource, and I keep on telling them that. I'm raising funds, I have no resources, and all we are doing is nothing but hard work. Anyone can do it. And if maybe one of these boys makes it, within 3-4 years he breaks through to the first or second team of some top club, that's where Indians start believing. Like the 1983 World Cup.
Yeah.
That's where we started believing. Neeraj Chopra, we started believing in athletics.
You have to see it to believe it, right?
The Indian can do it.
Yeah.
You have to prove it to them. And once you prove it to them, we are unstoppable. Okay, all we have is that belief factor of, oh yeah, it was one of us. Who's done it? He's one of us. So we love to be showing the world that we Indians can be the best, but we need that little push from someone who says that yes, I've done it, and it's anyone, if I can do it, you can. And that's the whole point of these things. So that's the positive part.
Absolutely.
That we've come here to show the world and to the Indians that not only can we dominate, you know, people say that, why aren't you going and playing PSG or Barcelona or this? I can't just call them up and say, play me. Okay? It's not like you're going and playing somebody. Okay?
You've got to prove yourself, you have
that's
a
the
bit
whole
of
point.
profile,
So
and then-
to all the Indian fans, yes, we are going to play Barcelona. When they bloody invite us, man. So how are they going to invite us? When we're going to be champions of all these trophies. Then we write to them, okay, we are champions of this, this, this. And 60 countries participated here, 76 participated here, 120 participated here. And we won each and every cup. Can you please play a match against us? And maybe then they do.
Of course, so we're building towards it.
Yeah,
We're
that's the whole
building
point.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not about testing ourselves out with here. But it's a good level. Why? Because India is ranked now 133.
Yeah.
Okay? And the Scandinavian countries, all of them are in the top 20 or 30 of the world.
Yeah.
So we are playing against their best academies. Okay? And we are India's best academy. So if India's best academy is playing against their best academies and we are thrashing them, that's showing to the world that we Indians can be better than even the Europeans if you're trained well.
Should at the very least open doors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's-
I guarantee you, these boys, if we play against Barcelona, we play against these clubs, we will do very well. We'll shock the world.
Yeah.
But at what age? Again, I'm being very honest with all of you. Now, till they're 15, 14. But if you go on to 16, they have Lamine Yamals.
Yeah.
And why don't we have them? Because my 14-year-olds will play against other 14-year-olds of what level in India?
Yeah.
They'll be of a lower level. They'll never be of a higher level than my boys. You need to play with people who are better than you every single day to improve. So we don't get that competition in India. That's why there's no point in India going and winning every year. See, I won the under 15 4 times, under 13 3 times. I mean, yes, it's happiness is a title, but
But you need that opportunity to kick on, right?
yeah, we need to go to the next level
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
And now from here, what's the next level? That's the next level. I wish there were competitions for clubs which were inter-club world competitions, but they are not. But are they for countries? Yes, they are. So my country is not doing it. Under 16 AFC, they don't do anything.
Yeah,
Under 14, they
yeah.
don't do it. So who's going to do it? So that's why from next year onwards, we're not only going to try to participate in these tournaments, we're going to stop making any of my boys play in any Indian tournaments because it's just wasting time.
Yeah.
And rather spend the entire money on participating in tournaments abroad and trying to get them the exposure and sending them out. Even though I don't get any money, so it's about where I want my country in 10 years. If I want my country to get into the World Cup in 2034, then I should not be looking for money from these boys now. Again, I'm looking at my short term then, which I'm telling all the clubs to do.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only source of income we have. But imagine if I wait for another 10 years, I'll make it all up. You got to think like that.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting, so I want to touch on the AIFF committee, and then from this new constitution in
Which
August.
committee?
Oh, so basically I'm talking about
They've got hundreds of committees and they form a new committee every day.
I'm talking more about like Kalyan Chorby and the president and the vice president and the real top line of the... So obviously, due to this constitution, they're having a massive audit, and I'm assuming there'll have to be elections and everything done by next August.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you have hope that there would be under 17, under 19?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm so right in the beginning when I went after Praful Patel and company, we got them out and thinking, oh my God, that's the magic pill. He's the fucking guy responsible for ruining us. Yeah. It's all him. And I realized it's not him. It's a system. Unless the system changes, we can't do anything. And then how do I make sure I have to be part of not the system, but I have to be part of the change which makes the new system.
Yeah.
So I was there from minute one in the constitution, in writing it and making sure that even if I'm not there, you are not there, 100 Kalyan Chaubes get into AIFF, we still run like a well-oiled machine. Why? Because the system is so good, the amount of transparency and accountability there is there. It's for everyone to see. And on top of that, you will get results, otherwise people will change. It's not going to be efforts like this by people like me taking years and years and going to the court. It's going to be automatic. Why? The system says, have you done this? No, go. But if they say, okay, if they follow that, how will you get results? The same way Minerva gets results, because we follow a system. Okay. So we train in a particular way, and that is why it gets results. So yeah, like people keep on saying trophies. You pick up trophies at tournaments, you win them at training. So you just pick it up that day.
Yeah.
You can't not train and say, okay, I'm going to win the trophies. Doesn't happen. You're just going to pick it up because of the hard work you've done before that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be automatic.
Yeah.
The results will come. Why? Because systems will be in place. Why? Because we'll have grassroots systems training over millions and millions of kids, and then the top players percolating right to the top.
Okay.
So the cream rising to the top because we've got a huge base of players. Yeah. And what incentivizes, like you said, these guys to do it? Their own ass. If they want to be there the next year, they better do it. They shouldn't. You see, someone who's the president of AIFF shouldn't need any incentive to be working for it.
Agreed.
So it should always be someone who can rather give than take from the game.
So a lot of the reason why like these people are corrupt and whatnot, of course, money's the main incentive, right? But I always think that do these people never think that growing the pie and growing the game and the stature of Indian football will make them more money, even just on a even if you annualize it over 10 years? Do they not like run the numbers thinking that, oh, if I grow the game,
bro,
annually I will end up with more money?
But do you know what?
But I just can't get my head. How are you going to be incentivized with money? And not want to make more money by growing a game? I just don't understand it.
See, you're talking about somebody like a president, okay, and or secretary, all these guys not being able to do it, and half of them are uneducated, okay. I don't blame them at all because they are like that, okay. Who do I blame? I do blame FSDL. That means Reliance. Why?
Because they took advantage of that, essentially.
No,
right?
I'll tell you why. See, because they've got the best advisors in the world.
Yeah.
They took over Indian football 10 years ago was when the ISL started. They took over 15 years ago in 2010.
Yeah.
So if whoever they've hired as advisors should right now be fired and never hired again. Because if they had told them in 2010, forget everything guys, just put 100 crores in these 4 centers of excellence here. Imagine Reliance putting in 100 crores a year for 5 years in these centers, the kind of players they would have produced, who would be playing where? In their Indian Super League. And what would be happening right now? We would have, in 15 years, imagine the players you could have produced from Indian Super League academies run by Reliance. And are they spending money every year? By the way, people don't know this. Reliance gives 2 crores to every club, ISL club, so that they can run their academies. So that means every year. So 26 crores a year into 10 years, 260 crores has been given to these clubs to run their academies. How many players have they produced? 0. And if you had given me that money, I would have bloody conquered the world, not because I'm great, because I would have done something.
Your systems in place,
So what
essentially,
what did they do? So they wanted a Roy Krishna. Why they wanted to win the league this year? So what did they do? Oh, okay. When is the under 16 league? Oh, it's in December. Okay, we're not going to have them for the year. Call them 5 days before the league. We'll play them for 1 month in the league and we'll send them back. So the 1.5 crores we saved there, we're going to put in Roy Krishna because I want the fucking trophy this year.
Yeah.
Who cares what's going to happen in 10 years? Why? We got Minerva. They'll keep producing players. We'll buy it from them. Why? Because he can't refuse us. We'll just throw money at him.
Yeah, the ones that he doesn't sell abroad. Oh, sorry, doesn't give to academies abroad. They're going to end up needing a career, so we'll buy him.
So I'm saying they need to imagine, but it's a saving money for them. It's saving face for them. So if I was Reliance, I would have questioned my guys that why haven't we been a success in 15 years? It's because still, even if they do it now, it would be welcome. I would welcome them with open arms because what Reliance can give Indian football, I can never do that.
Yeah, no.
Imagine if you can put 50 crores into just academies. Oh my God, we'll change within a year. You'll have good players.
All the World Cup ambitions overnight become realistic.
Overnight.
Right?
And how much money does it take? Very little compared to what they're spending and wasting. For example, now, AIFF, when this guy came in, he says, I'm going to bring in 100 crores money every year. He's not only forget doing that, he's brought in our budget to being one of the lowest budgets in any sports in India. We get less money from the government than sailing and boating does.
Yeah, no,
my
that's a
God.
crazy stat.
That's pathetic.
That's just
man.
a crazy stat like this.
I can't believe it. As being like football, being like a global game and a global.
Okay, let's talk about. Let me tell you if we Indians can do it. So let me give you a bright example. Hockey.
Yeah.
A national game. Olympic gold medalist. So I remember when we went to Helsinki right now. That stadium, 1952. So I was saying, okay, it's an Olympic stadium. Let me see what Indians did that year. So apparently we won our first bronze medal with KT Jadhav winning the first independent India's bronze in wrestling. We won a gold in hockey. Okay. And our biggest defeat in the history of Indian football came in that bloody stadium, 10-1 to Yugoslavia. That's where Puskas became famous, then Hungary won and Puskas, the name of Puskas came
Was that in Maidan? I feel like I remember seeing that.
Exactly.
It was in there,
the
wasn't it?
opening scene of Maidan. Okay? And we played in the same stadium. Okay. And in hockey, we were the best. We went down. Why? Because from a skill-based game, it went to being an athlete-based game. Sports science came in, nutrition came in.
Yeah.
You just didn't have skill on just with the stick going it. If you could run, football and hockey are so similar with pressing, with shape, everything is similar.
We played hockey. We played field hockey.
Yeah.
I
was a keeper
I'm a
there.
footballer. I played field hockey. I was one of the front three in hockey. I remember we all played like it was football.
Yeah.
We just had sticks.
Yeah.
It's the same.
The patterns,
Everything
if
is
anything,
the
there's no
same.
offside, so like it just makes it a bit
Exactly.
simpler. Yeah.
And everything is the same. So Indians realized, how do we get back there? Why did we fall back? Because we saw that in 1980s, the world turned from natural grass to turf. Okay? And the number of turfs in India in 1980 was 0. In 1990, was still 0. And 1905, they were 5. To 2000 became 10. And from 2000 to 2010, we had 1,400 turfs built.
Ridiculous.
Right now, just Odisha, one state, has 1,400 turfs. Over India has 8,000 turfs.
Crazy.
That's how big a country we are. So if you want to do something, so now what happens is that if we have 8,000 turfs, that means you go to any school or college, there's a turf. That means the local boys play on what? Turf. And when they go up, they play on turf. And in football, what happens? You play on grounds which are so horrible. That's why the Indians can't pass at the back and they saw long ball football because the pass might not go and they're not used to it. So they invested in turfs and they are back in the top 5 in the world.
So my question is, why are they so slow to adapt then? Especially if you're already winning medals. Surely if you see your competitors do it, you go, well, we want to stay at the top. We'll do it. Why?
So hockey had they were lucky because it was known as the national game of India. And because it was the national game of India, we put some effort there. In fact, football is the opposite. Even though football was as popular as hockey in all parts of India, but we were in the Olympics, it said very, very clearly that all the games which we have a medal chance.
Yeah.
Now, that is so pathetic when you talk about football. Can you be in the top 8 in the world? Obviously, fucking we cannot be in the top 8. And if you don't spend money with us, how are you going to get there? Or we'll only give you money if you're in the top 8. That's like saying, we'll only give you billions of dollars if you're already a billionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, how stupid is that? And why are you looking at sports only in the Olympics? Nobody cares who wins the Olympic medal in football. Football is a different sport. It's got more members than the UN has nations.
Football competes with the Olympics.
Yes.
As an organisation.
Exactly. So if you are doing well in football, the whole world sits up and takes notice.
Yeah.
One man has changed the face of Egypt in England. Or Muslims, by the way.
Yeah.
So
100%.
apparently, football is so powerful that, and knowing Liverpool, people who don't know Liverpool and known as Scousers, there was a very, very racist place. A lot of Islamophobia was there. And the favorite name right now is Muhammad in Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's because of Salah. So imagine what the power of football is. It transcends religion. It transcends creed, color. That's what India is. We need somebody like that to come in and show the world that we are capable. We do that. Imagine we do that. We have one Indian playing there. The same day you'll have at least 1,000 academies opening up in India. Where because they'll say, oh fuck, we can do that. And why did academies open up in Punjab? When I started, and the Punjabis are like that, okay? So in the very first year we got, and I was runners up in second division, 2 clubs started there. The next 2 years I won the I-League and 3 more clubs started. I started doing well in juniors, 4 academies started. Why? If this guy can do it, so can I, man.
Yeah.
And that's all they need. And I love it. I love it that now Punjab has 5 residential academies who are doing well. We have an Indian Super League club, Punjab FC, which was my club and I sold it later. But they're doing so well and they're carrying on from where I left off with their youth program because we gave them the best talented youth from my academy and they've carried it on further. That's brilliant. Because what I wanted is those boys to get game time in the senior team in the Super League. Because they did. People like Abhishek Tikcham are now in the main Indian team. So now people from Punjab don't need to go far because they've got me with an I-League club, they've got an ISL club, they've got a second division club in Punjab, they've got a third division club in Punjab. So the number of footballers who are lost in the system are very few.
Yeah.
Whereas places like UP, Uttar Pradesh, like we were talking about when we were off camera, that there is no league, there's no Super League club, there's nothing there. So what will a player do? He doesn't have money to go to another state. He'll just change his sport.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why? Because that sport, now any Olympic sport by the way, which is in the top 8 and India is doing so well in so many sports, is giving them actual money. Is giving them a stipend, is giving them money for supplements, is giving them support in their college.
It's just
in
a
their
career.
university.
You can do what you want, or like
it's
you
a
can do that
career.
for the rest of your
so
life.
when people say, oh my God, why are you playing so much? Please let the players earn. Why? Because players earn and their parents, the next generation of parents say, okay, fine, son, you can play football. Imagine if these players who are playing in the Indian Super League were earning peanuts. The number of people joining football right now would be 1,000.
Yeah.
Why are people all wanting to join cricket? Money, glamour, how famous you are and how well we are doing.
Yeah.
So if those same things happen in football, why wouldn't people join football? They would.
Absolutely they
Exactly. So it's how you project the sport. Why are people so having such problems with players earning much? And you all know that the players come from very, very humble backgrounds. So if they can make their life in football, which will promote even more people from their villages or their cities to come out and play football and not cricket. Because now a footballer can earn as much as a decent cricketer can. But yes, in cricket, you have 1,000 people earning that. In cricket, you have only 10 or 20 people earning the same amount. But at least it's a start.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Sure. So I have a question. Can I just hear your thoughts on the ISL and master rights agreements with the FDSL? I just want to hear your opinion on it.
So the original one?
Yeah, the original one.
See, the original one was again done in a way which was in the most corrupt manner. Kushal Das, who was the General Secretary of AIFF, was earlier working for Reliance. So what he did was he drafted the agreement. He resigned from Reliance. He joined AIFF through Praful Patel, and then he signed the same agreement he had drafted.
That's
which
If
ridiculous.
that doesn't have conflict of interest all over it, then I don't know what does.
And what did it give them? It gave them unfettered rights to Indian football. That's why I'm pissed off with them, because not because they took the rights, because they didn't do anything with it. They had unfettered rights to Indian football from A division, B division, C division. You can rename the rights, anything. Indian national team, Indian national coach. You could do what you wanted. You controlled Indian football. But so who's responsible for this mess? The people who controlled Indian football, who owned Indian football, not AIFF. FSDL, Reliance owned them. So they could have done so much more, but who did they concentrate on? Only in 10 years, their top line, the top product. They didn't concentrate on anything else. So if that had got results, I would not be sitting here with you and talking shit about it or talking smack about it. Why? Because people would say, why is this guy saying it? We've got in the top 50 in the world because the league is so great.
Okay.
Oh, silver lining to everything. I enjoyed the conversations.
Yeah, bro, but I really hope
No,
one
of
day
course, man, of
very
course.
soon, one day, very soon, we are talking about how we're gonna, break into the next 100 and then in the top 50 and then top
Well, look,
30.
man,
Not how we don't go into
course,
150 and above now.
But of course, look, I feel like we've come onto this story at like a point where it is changing.
Yes.
You've been obviously like a
And that's
massive
why it
part
took
of
so
that.
much of time. Because if you want to change getting OCIs and PIOs and immediate people, it's an overnight decision.
Agreed, yeah,
Signed, done. Changes happen. Long-term changes, no.
Yeah.
When are you going to look for the next striker? When this striker who we have from an OCI or PIO, he gets old, we get a new striker from there. Will you get new strikers? No. So what happens? You change the system.
Yeah.
And that takes a huge amount of time. Why? Because the same system has been there for the last 70 years.
Yeah.
And 70 years is a long time for getting it entrenched into something and then changing the habits. That's like changing the culture of some place.
Yeah, which takes so
And
long.
It's taken a
and so,
decade.
like,
It's
yeah,
taken a decade.
Exactly.
Bro. So it's
exactly.
now finally come to culmination. And in fact, I would say that in the next 5 years, it's going to happen. I mean, the changes are going to start showing. The changes are going to happen as long as they don't dilute it. Because what I have a very major fear is, which is going to come to know within a week, okay, that if they dilute it, that means what I've fought for, that you cannot have people above 60 there. You cannot have people who've been there for 15, 20 years getting another term. All these things which have been agreed, I really hope we don't go back on that and we allow old farts of 85 plus.
Yeah.
Even though I know people say, oh my God, Donald Trump's there at 85. But exactly, I mean, you need football to be run by people who understand what half spaces are or what zone 14 is.
Yeah.
No, it needs to all be geared towards improvement. That, like, it's as simple as that.
Exactly. And you need to have people who care.
Yeah.
That means if India loses, it should hurt him. If India loses, you should not be wanting to eat your food. That's how much it should hurt you.
So my last question is, so obviously the new constitution then meant ISL got delayed. So what stage is in it now at the Supreme Court? Like what for example, what can they change? What can't they change? When is it going to be adopted?
See, they're not going to change much.
Yeah, see, I want to know.
So they're not going to change much. So
Okay.
if I want people, I'm going to be sharing the new constitution with you guys. Okay?
Yeah.
You please link it up on this.
We'll do. We'll absolutely.
Let everyone go through it, and also link up the old one so that
Okay.
people see.
Compare.
Yeah.
Done.
In the new constitution, the National Sports Code, which is the law which the whole constitution is based on, they put in a new amendment right now in the monsoon thing where they are going for some changes where their argument is that by the time an administrator gets good in his job, which will take at least 5 to 10 years in the federation, and he gets ready for a prime position in the international federation, which is AFC or FIFA. But they're not talking about AFC, FIFA, they're talking about IOC basically. And that's what they're bothered about. And then you just take him out from there because he's been there for 15 years. And that is an okay thing as long as from here he has that and he fucks off and he goes there. Not that just because we've changed the rule for people who want to take over internationally, that he can be here for 30 years in our place.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So the problem is that to solve one problem, which I agree with, that you get good here and you get to international position, you need to be in the IOC or in FIFA. Imagine if we had a president who's Indian in FIFA. So people say, oh, that can't happen. Why the fuck can't it happen? In cricket, we had a president of ICC before we were anywhere great enough to be the best.
That was like in 87 even.
Yeah,
Like,
so why do we need that? What India has right now is political and economic power in the world. We should flex it. We should really flex it in FIFA. Why? Okay, who thought of that Qatar is going to get a fucking World Cup?
No, literally no one.
If I told somebody, if I'd actually gone to Ladbrokes, okay, and 10, 15 years ago and said, okay, fine, I'm going to put £100 on Qatar getting the World Cup, I would have been not a million, a billionaire.
Yeah.
Because nobody could have thought that.
Yeah,
I mean, the place is as big as Ilford. Okay, that's the only thing I think of. And I'm not kidding. And you got 20 stadiums imagine in Ilford because they got the money. And it's all about money. And India is in a position to now do that. In BCCI, we are bullying the world because of that position. Here, we don't need to bully anyone. All we need to do is get in there with the right people, with the right attitude, and wanting to do something else. But who's going to do that? We need to have someone who loves football in the government.
Yeah.
Unless we have a minister or somebody high up who's really in love with the game, unfortunately, we're not going to have something happening at the top level. That's why the struggle will continue till we get that one guy who really cares. Yeah. So people keep on asking me, why don't you get to being the federation president? Because that's not my job. My job is to produce players. And you get the right people for the right job.
I think it also would just feel like that, everything you've been doing has been for that purpose. It just immediately puts too much sort of pressure on it.
I would never.
hear what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
you see me. I'm the happiest when I'm sitting on the side of the ground with my cup of coffee and watching my boys play. And to take that away and to do and attend these meetings in FIFA, I mean, I'd rather shoot myself down.
Well, the enjoyment is being hands-on and developing the players, not being
But then you have this thing, the sad part that okay, fine, you don't do that, then these players get wasted because you got idiots like him sitting there.
But at the same time, I mean, I'm going to assume that you're more politically involved than you probably ever wanted to be.
And then that's why change the system. Change the system that doesn't need me to be there. Yeah. Change the system doesn't need anyone to be there. System's so good. System works on its own. System's not alive. System's a system. Yeah. And that's what we've done with the new constitution. If it comes in, even if 90% of it stays, it's still the same. Amazing. The checks and balances are there to make sure, and that's not the part they can change, by the way. The checks and balances, the accountability, the transparency is not something they will change, or they can change. They can only change the little things which can make a difference, but is not going to make a difference in the long term. Yeah. So we are sorted there. All we need to do is have patience, because even though we didn't want to have patience and we wanted immediate results, we had to have patience because we couldn't do shit about it. Okay, and it got worse and worse. Now there's a silver lining. In fact, there's light at the end of the tunnel. That okay, fine, it's about to come in, and more than that, you'll see that the entire outlook towards Indian football will change because you'll see progression happening. Yeah. For example, are Indians good enough? I'll give you an example. The under-17 Indonesian team has qualified for the under-17 World Cup. Mm-hmm. They were the last year's under-16 Indonesian team. Yeah. So we went to Indonesia, our under-16 team, this year, okay, before they qualified. We beat them in Indonesia. What did they do? They went to Amsterdam and they stayed 2 months there. They played against Ajax. They played under 19 teams. They played against all the best academies, PSV Eindhoven and all. What did India do with the under 16 team? We took them to SAF Cup to play against Bangladesh, Pakistan, and we were champions. Oh, great! Okay, what did they do?
Played against better teams.
Yeah, and they qualified for the World Cup. They lost to us 1 month ago, and they qualified the next month for the World Cup. And what did we do? We were 4th or 3rd in our group in the AFC. Look at the difference. And imagine if after beating Indonesia, you had given those same boys the same exposure. But why? They didn't have the money. Why? Because these corrupt guys finished it all.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been the most eye-opening thing about this conversation is like 80% of our questions, the answer is always the system.
Yeah.
So I hope
Yeah,
that
yeah.
when we
System changes, everything
So-
No,
changes.
but it is positive, and you saying that, like, even if they don't get like the little bits right, the fact that the major stuff's done is such a positive way.
Yes.
to,
Of
like,
course.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
to
So
see this
if
through.
that happens, because we are such a huge, massive country, it's impossible to fail.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you an example with the state of Orissa. When you had the right people there, with the last government who was there, again, I'm not a political person at all, as you can see from my videos. I don't give a rat's ass of which political party or, you know. But those guys made a heaven for sports people there in Orissa. They are the reason one state is responsible for getting India back into the hockey map, in the top 5 in the world, only one state. Was it rich state? No, it's one of the poorest states in India. If one state can do that, because that's the amount of power of money we have. If one state can do that, because one man, top chief minister and his people, they thought it's possible, they did it. Imagine if a government of India says, okay, fine, that's going to be our GM, we're going to make India the world power.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop us.
Yeah, agreed.
Nothing can stop us, guys.
No, I'm looking, well, yeah, I'm very positive because now, in like a year, 2-3 years' time, due to our system slowly and surely getting sorted, I hope we start asking questions like, those two players are both really good, and it then becomes a subjective conversation about who we want in the team.
Look, we're going to be
Exactly.
having this. Yeah.
Why isn't this there?
Yeah,
Why isn't that there?
imagine. So the conversation should be,
It will be.
okay?
It
yeah,
will be.
yeah, and you know, M is from England, and look, his boy is so good. And I'm saying, okay, fine, this boy is so good, look at his goals. Who should we have in the Indian team? This
Exactly.
guy or this guy? Well, look at the number
No,
of...
literally to that being the conversation
Cheers,
as you
cheers,
come through
cheers.
to Europe again and again over
Cheers,
the years.
guys, yes.
And look, you've got a couple of fans in us with Minerva itself, so we're definitely going to be following not only the Indian football journey, but you know your
And to
academy's journey.
all the people who are watching there in England, Minerva would love to come to England, guys. So we're going to be planning something, and we're going to be trying to come in there because we've had people, Indians here crying. Why? Because crying with pride. The Indians can come and smash Goras like this, so we're coming there, bros.
Yeah,
We come in there, we're going to show them the South Asians, trust me, they can play football.
What a note to end. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep following the story. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Perfect. Man.
Amazing, man.
Legend.
Thank you so much again.
Wonderful.
That was a
Wait,
great
we didn't
combo.
do... we should do one more about cricket.